Black made a move. On g4 check, pause the video and try to find white's next move. King g2. Queen takes e4 check. King g1. Queen b1 check. Bishop c1. Queen takes c1 check. King g2. Queen d1. Pawn promotes to queen at b8. Queen d5 check. White is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Queen takes f2. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Queen b8 check. King h7. Queen b1 check. Pawn g6. Pawn a7. King g7. King h1. Queen takes e3. Pawn promotes to queen at a8. On h5, white has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Rook b8. Pause the video to spot white's next move. Rook fb1. White is preparing to play. Queen takes b8 check. Queen takes b8. Rook takes b8 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook takes b7 played by black. Pawn takes b7. King f7. Rook a8. Queen takes f4. Pawn promotes to queen at b8. White is preparing to play queen e8 mate and take decisive advantage. Queen takes b8 move preferred by black. Rook takes b8. On c5, white has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Rook takes h5. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Pawn takes h5. Knight d6. Pawn h4. Pawn b6. Pawn h3. Pawn b7. White wants to play. Pawn promotes to queen at b8 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop a7 move preferred by black. Knight b5. Pawn h2. Knight takes a7. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 check. King c7. White has no response. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Pawn a4. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. On f4. Black intends to play. King e4. On a5. On f3. On a6. On f2. King b5. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. King d3 was chosen by white. White is preparing to play. On a5. King d5. On a6. King c6. King takes d4 and take decisive advantage. On f3 played by black. King d2. King f4. On h4. On f2. Black's idea is to play. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and take decisive advantage. King e2 move preferred by white. White is preparing to play. King takes f2 and dominate the board. King g3 was chosen by black. Black is preparing to play. On d3 check. King takes d3. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 check and increase their advantage significantly. On h5 move preferred by white. On d3 check. King takes d3. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 check. King e4. Black is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. King e8. Pause the video and try to predict white's next move. Rook b8 check. King f7. Queen f4 check. Rook f6. Knight e5 check. King g7. Queen g5 check. King h7. Queen h4 check. Rook h6. Rook h8 check. King takes h8. Queen d8 check. Queen takes d8. Pawn promotes to queen at cx d8 check. King g7. Black is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. White played knight e4 check. Pause the video to spot black's next move. King d4. Black is setting up to play king takes e3 and take decisive advantage. King f3 move preferred by white. Pawn b3. Black intends to play rook e2. Rook takes d3 check. King takes d3 and dominate the board. Knight f2 move preferred by white. Pawn b2. Rook takes d3 check. King c4. Black is preparing to play pawn promotes to queen at b1 and take decisive advantage. Rook d1 played by white. Rook a1. Knight d3. White wants to play knight takes b2 check and take decisive advantage. Rook a3 move preferred by black. King e2. Rook takes d3. Rook takes d3. Pawn promotes to queen at b1. Black considers playing queen takes d3 check and increase their advantage significantly. Rook g3. White is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White just played pawn takes d5. Pause the video to analyze black's next move. King takes f1. Pawn takes e6. King e2. Pawn e7. Pawn promotes to queen at f1. Black is looking to play queen takes h3. Pawn e6. Queen e3 check. King c4. Queen d3 mate and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn promotes to queen at e8 was chosen by white. Queen f3. Black might go for queen d3 mate and seize the initiative. Queen g6 played by white. Queen d5 check. King c3. Queen takes e5 check. King c2. Queen takes c5 check. King b1. Queen b4 check. King a2. Queen takes a4 check. King b2. White is outplayed. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. King d4. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Rook h4 check. King c5. Black might go for rook takes h4 and increase their advantage significantly. Rook takes b4 move preferred by white. King takes b4. Pawn h4. White considers playing pawn h5. King c4. Pawn h6. Pawn d5. Pawn h7. Pawn d4. King f3 and establish a winning position. Pawn d5 played by black. King f3. White's idea is to play pawn h5. King c5. Pawn h6. King c6. Pawn h7. Pawn b5. King e3 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn d4 was chosen by black. Black is looking to play pawn d3. King f4. Pawn d2. King f5. Pawn promotes to queen at d1 and dominate the board. King e2 played by white. White's idea is to play king d3. King b3. Pawn h5. King a3. Pawn h6 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King c5 was chosen by black. On h5. White is preparing to play king d3. King c6. Pawn h6. King b7. Pawn h7. Pawn b5. Pawn promotes to queen at h8 and increase their advantage significantly. King c4 played by black. King d2. King d5. On h6. On b5. King d3. On b4. On h7. On b3. On promotes to queen at h8. White is planning to play queen g8 check. King e5. Queen b8 check. King e6. Queen takes b3 check and dominate the board. King c6. Black is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. On h3, pause the video and try to find white's next move. On b6. White wants to play. On b7. Rook takes a 7 check. King takes a 7 and gain a significant edge. On h2 was chosen by black. Black is planning to play. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 and seize the initiative. Rook d1 played by white. White intends to play. On b7. On f6. On promotes to queen at bx a8 and seize the initiative. On g3 was chosen by black. King b5. On g2. On b7. On promotes to queen at h1. Black wants to play queen f1 check. King b4. Queen f4 check and dominate the board. On promotes to queen at bx a8 played by white. Queen takes d1. Queen b7 check. Queen d7 check. Queen takes d7 check. King takes d7. On promotes to queen at a8. White is looking to play queen takes g2 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On promotes to queen at g1 was chosen by black. Queen c6 check. King e7. Queen d6 check. King e8. On b4. Queen f1 check. King b6. On f5. Queen takes e6 check. King f8. Queen c8 check. King g7. Queen d7 check. King g8. On e6. Queen f2 check. King a6. Queen a2 check. King b7. Queen g2 check. King c8. Queen a8 check. King c7. Queen a7 check. King c6. White intends to play queen takes a 7. King h8. Queen f7. On f4. On e7. On f3. On promotes to queen at e8 mate and seize the initiative. Queen a2 played by black. On b5. Queen c2 check. King b7. Queen g2 check. King a7. Queen g1 check. On b6. Queen a1 check. King b7. Queen h1 check. King c8. Queen c1 check. King b8. Queen f4 check. King a7. Queen e5. On e7. Queen a1 check. King b8. Queen e5 check. King c8. Queen c3 check. King b7. Queen f3 check. Queen c6. Queen e2. On promotes to queen at e8 check. Queen takes e8. Queen takes e8 check. King g7. Black has no response. Let's go to the next game.